everybody, this is Kyle at Whistling Dixie Farms, and I am here to give you a virtual tour of our chicken coop. We love having people out to the farm to check out how we do things, but not everybody can always make it, so we'll give you a little virtual tour, and you can see what our chicken keeping is like. This is our chicken coop. It's a low roof building. It used to be a hog building back in the day. The guy that we bought this farm from has raised several kinds of animals in here. Miniature horses, goats. I think he had a donkey at one time. So it's been well used. We like it a lot. We've insulated it so it's nice and comfortable for our chickens even when it's cold out. But anyways, before we head inside, I'll show you out here. This right here, we've got a 250 gallon IBC tote that we use for storing water. We don't normally use it, but this summer with construction going on here on the farm, there's been times where we've had to turn off power to the well, and so that can kind of help bridge us over and buffer when we don't have water in the well. That 250 gallons has lasted us a little over 10 days the first time we had to turn the well off. So it's nice to have. And then we've got this red tote over here that I use for storing some feed stuff. That's a topic for another video. Step in. Alright, this is our chicken coop. As long as we're on the topic of water, this is where the well comes into the coop. Really handy in the winter months. We don't have to carry water anywhere. And this is a frost-free hydrant, so it works year-round for us, so we can have nice clean water for the hens. Here you can see we use aspen shavings for the bedding on the floor, and we implement what we call the deep litter method. You can see up here there's a chicken scratching. So this is kind of the basis. We just kind of keep adding layers and layers of this aspen shavings to the floor, and the chickens scratch at it, and they poo in it, and it starts to just break down the food and the poo and the bedding, and it keeps it from getting smelly or having flies or anything. It's a really great method for keeping a clean coop. And like you saw, the chickens will help scratch it up. I also have a rake over here I use to help turn it over. That way it stays dry and odor free in here for our hens. The other reason that we use the aspen bedding instead of the pine shavings, it's a lot less dusty. We feel like it makes a cleaner chicken coop, and it seems like it's a little bit easier on the chicken's feet. It is a cement floor in here under the bedding, and walking on cement can be hard on pretty much all animals' feet, so the bedding helps cushion them, and we feel like the aspen just stays a little bit fluffier than the pine shavings, and we have had virtually no foot issues since changing to this. We kind of had some sliver issues with the pine shavings sometimes. So this is the stuff we use. It's actually a premium horse bedding that we buy from the farm store, and we usually mix in, I'd say, about one of those packages a week to help cover. And one thing that we also like about this bedding is you can see it comes in a paper bag. It's a lot easier for us to take care of that as a leftover. We can put it in the compost, or we can put it in the burn pile if we have some brush burning, as opposed to having to deal with a plastic bag and having to send that to the dump or anything. So you can see we got some chickens cleaning up the tail ends of their breakfast. Even though our chickens free range and have access to all the good stuff outside, bugs and grass and all that, we do feed them a little bit of supplement feed, which we make here on the farm. Just a little bit in the morning and a little bit in the evening, just to make sure they're getting all the food, calories, and energy that they need. If you look in here, this is where we store our food. Mix it up in about 100-pound batches. And it's kind of like this. It's just a kind of ground corn and powder. You see the chickens really like it a lot. On a hot summer day like today, they really do enjoy if we mix in the water with their food and kind of like a paste consistency. It's just like a special treat for them. Alright, moving on. Here's our first bank of nests that I have built out of some old milk crates. I'm all about repurposing and reusing things. You can see we have some ladies in here doing their daily job of laying eggs. So here we end up, you can see we have an egg. And so we'll come through a couple times in the evening. The chickens usually lay during the day. So usually by about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll come through and pick up all the eggs, check on all the chickens, give them their evening food, fill up the water. We keep a couple different water cans around the farm. Here's another nest. We do have about 80 chickens, 80 laying hens. So we do have a couple nests. You can see there's another one back here. That way there's plenty of space for everybody when they need to use the nest. Alright, now our last stop, we're going to look at the roosts that we use. So this is where the chickens come at night, so they roost. You'll see we've got our 3 levels here. And the reason why we do that is it allows the chickens to stack up based on their kind of rank in the flock. I'm sure you've heard the term pecking order before. That term comes from chickens. They do have a pretty strong hierarchy in their flock, and so that this helps them just to maintain the peace. The top ranked chickens go in the highest roost, and then on down, and they all know where they go, and that's just part of life. You will also notice each roost has a shelf under it. Part of raising chickens is dealing with the chicken manure, and chickens will continue to make droppings even when they're sleeping at night on the roost. So what I've designed here is what we call poop boards. Chickens sit on the roost at night, they poo, and since they're all sitting in the same place, the poo would really build up. So we're shoveling out a lot of the bedding off the floor and a lot of poo, and they're walking in it in dirty feet. So by building these shelves, the poo falls on the shelf, chickens come out in the morning, then every day or every other day, depending on what the weather's like, I'll come in and I can shovel off the shelves into a wheelbarrow and take that away to the compost pile, and then that helps it stay a lot cleaner in the coop, a lot less smell. The chickens' feet stay cleaner, and it just looks a lot nicer, and I think helps us to just have healthier chickens. So that is the whole coop, and just a couple chickens that are hanging out in here. A lot of them are out and about exploring the farm today. So have a great day, everybody, and let us know if you ever want to come out to the farm and see the chickens in person. Have a good one.